Hi everyone, this is Ro here with a review for Bakuman Volume 5. At the end of Volume 4, Takeshi and Mashiro are going to meet with their editor, Hattori, to go over details about serialization, their contracts, their costs, the systems, etc. And Hattori doesn't come alone. He is with a guy called Miura, and Hattori tells Takeshi and Mashiro that this guy, Miura, is actually going to be their new editor. Takeshi and Mashiro are a bit confused, like, why is this happening? We find out that sometimes the editors are shuffled around. Some editors are assigned a new mangaka artist to work with, or sometimes just writers, but just new people to work with. So Hattori has been assigned other mangakas to work with, and Miura, who's kind of a newbie editor, is assigned Takeshi and Mashiro. So Hattori leaves then, and Miura talks about the contracts and, as I said before, other stuff. And he talks about meeting the assistants of Takeshi and Mashiro, meeting the assistants that he found for them. So we meet the assistants later on, and I don't remember the names there, but there were two guys and one girl, and one of them doesn't exactly want to be anything more than an assistant. Another one is an experienced assistant. He works with multiple mangakas, and one of them, his name is Takahawa. He's actually aspiring to be a mangaka like himself, but at the moment he hasn't been successful, so he's just doing being an assistant to gain experience, I think. So I'll go into that detail later. Miura also tells Takeshi and Mashiro that they have to go to a New Year's party. This New Year's party is an opportunity for them to meet other mangakas, meet the other editors, even the editor-chief, the deputy, and people who are the superiors, or people who are in high places in Jump or other magazines. So they go there and they meet their rival, Nizuma. He's the creator of Crow. They also meet a new mangaka artist who started recently as well. His name is Hiramaru. He's the creator of Otter 11. So the party goes on. Takeshi and Mashiro meet the other editors, like I said, manga artists, and someone turns up that they didn't expect to see. Kogi. As I said before in Volume 4 review, Kogi is an idol, and he entered his manga into the Gold Future Cup prize, I think. And the Fukada team stormed the editorial department, arguing that Kogi is an idol, he has his fans, and he's more likely to win. So, but he didn't win. And they're surprised that he's even still in the manga industry. So he turns up there, and we find out that Kogi actually wants to team up, or is teaming up with Kao Aoki. And she was actually teamed up with Nakai, and they created a one-shot in Volume 4 Bakuman for the Gold Future Cup. Their one shot, I think, was called Hideout Door. Nakai, who was, like I said before, teamed up with Kawaoki. He hears about this, and he goes to her flat and begs her to team up with him. And Kawaoki just says that his art was poor. But obviously she was exaggerating, because his artwork is pretty good. So Nakai says, I'll come here every day and sit across the road in this kind of public park or something, and improve his artwork. So every day he goes there after he finishes working as an assistant for Nizuma. He goes to that park, and he tries to improve his work. Finally, Aoki actually accepts it. You know, okay, we'll do it. We'll team up again, create a great manga. And they start working on the manga's hideout door. So they just continue on the story, just better storyline, better artwork. So now going back to the artist, it's kind of odd, this situation, the atmosphere in the studio, because it's all silent. I guess Mashiro is just not much of a talker and can't, I don't know, come up with a conversation for everyone in the room to talk about. So when they leave, all the assistants leave, apart from that Takahawa. He stayed, he said he's going to continue a little bit, but that was just an excuse, because he just wanted to be left there so he could talk alone with Mashiro, who was still there. And he tells us that these other two assistants, they're not aiming to become mangakas, they're fine with being assistants, and he just can't talk to them. So he talks to Mashiro after the other assistants leave, and he says he wants to become like Walt Disney, become great like him. And Mashiro is surprised, and they start talking and they become friends. And later in this volume, Takeki also have conversation with Takahawa, and they become good friends. And later on, Takahawa warns Mashiro and Takeki to be cautious of Miura, the editor, because Takahawa has also been assigned to Miura. And yes, so like I said, it tells them to be cautious of Miura, because Miura tends to give sometimes bad advice, sometimes good advice, but so it's a bit hard to tell, and it could make their manga better, but most likely worse. So Takeki and Mashiro don't know what to think about it, and they decide later on to rewrite a few chapters down the line to improve and to better adjust, etc. During this volume we also learn about the ranks, and Takeki and Mashiro in this volume, they are absolutely obsessed with the ranks, because Detective Trap, well, it's not really doing too well, it just goes down and down and down, and Miura just telling them, forget about it. A manga artist, before they didn't even know about the ranks, but then they just started to tell them, and they started to worry about it, and this affected their work. That's why he didn't exactly want to tell them about the ranks, but they find out, and they're just obsessed with it. And Miura's telling them, forget about improving your rank, try and maintain it. That's the most important right now. Miura says that manga is a gamble, and Mashiro later agrees and says they need to attract the people who like the genre of Detective Trap. That's the manga, by the way. Later on, the rank is still decreasing, and it's looking quite bad. They could get cancelled. There's only been like 8 chapters they've done. So Miura comes up with an idea, Takegi also came up with the same idea, of adding humor, more humor to their manga. And funny enough, that increased their rank. And finally, at the end of this volume, their rank actually ties with Nizuma's Crow. And that's how this volume ends. Yeah, another thing we also learn in this volume, on Miho's side, that's the girl right here, Mashiro has a crush on. We find out that she's kind of at a roadblock, or a crossroads, in her dream of becoming a voice actor. What happened is that Miho's been has been advised, I should say, been advised to do a photo book, you know, where she's dressed in a bikini or whatever, to promote herself and promote her career and becoming, you know, this will open doors for her and becoming a voice actress. But obviously she's not very comfortable with this idea, and she sends text to Mashiro saying that if she's going to do this, she'd rather have Mashiro see her naked before doing this, and all this jibby jabber kind of rubbish. But anyway, Mashiro is confused by this, and he's willing to break his promise to see her, because he tries to call her to try and get understand more what's going on, and trying to help her come up with a better idea or a solution to this problem, but she's not answering calls. So like I said, he's going to break the promise that he made with her, is that they won't see each other until their dream come true of her becoming a voice actress and him creating an anime for her, and they won't see each other till they complete their dreams. So he's going to break that promise, and he's going to go and see her so that he can solve this problem with her. Takagi and Miyoshi, they find out about this, and Takagi actually rings Miho's home, not on her cell, but on her home number, and he tells Miho what Mashiro is going to do. Miho can't believe what Mashiro is going to do, so she rings him and tells him, go back and draw your manga. Go back and draw your manga for our dream, for our future. So they have a nice sit down and talk, over the phone. And in the end, Mashiro says, no, I don't want you to do the photo book. I would rather I'm the only one who wants to see you like that. Okay. And they had their answer. So she doesn't want to do the photo book, so they wanted a photo book. Of course, this will probably affect her career, but I'll have no regrets, right? Another thing we learn in this volume, Fukuda and the Nakai and Aoki team, they actually get serialized. Fukuda is doing a manga called Miyoshi. I think it's Miyoshi. Kiyoshi. Not Miyoshi. Miyoshi's the girl. Kiyoshi. And Nakai Aoki team is doing a manga called Hideout Door. We also learn the artists. Remember earlier I said they meet in the New Year's party. The artist named Hiramaru. That's the creator of Auto 11. We learn how he actually deals with pressure of the job. He likes to run away from his editor and hide at other people's other mangaka's house. So he goes and hides at Nizuma's house, where he is house and studio. And yeah, that's basically something we learn. This is kind of a repetitive thing we see later on in further volumes. So I think I've mentioned everything that's really important in this volume. Yeah, so thanks for watching.